What's up, guys? Happy Friday. It's August 5th, and it's 10:56 a.m., and we're going to cover the dollar chart in the big picture because something huge is happening and unfolding that doesn't happen for a very long time. So this stuff only happens about every 20 years. So I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if we dive into the dollar chart here, and we're on the monthly, but I'm going to go to the 3-month real quick. So here we go. So this is the 3-month chart. And I'm going to measure from this top to this top. And that is 6,209 days. So if we take that 6,209 days divided by 365 days, that's 17 years. So here we go. 17 years. Now we'll take this top to this top right now. And that's 7,486 divided by 365. We're talking 20 years right now. So from this top to this top, it was 17 years, and this top to this top, it's been 20 years. So around the same kind of time frame, because we're talking about years right now. So give or take 1 or 2 or 3 years, but this is unfolding as we speak. So we have 17 years, 20 years, and now let's kind of look into what's going on. So I'm going to hide these drawings real quick, and we're going to look at the Stargate indicator. So this is the 3-month chart, and I'm going to take actually off the warning signs. We just want to know exactly when to buy, exactly when to sell the dollar. And you can see that it's hit it to a T. So we're in 2022. This chart spans the 1969, and it's hitting it to a T. And it's funny how like the pattern and the signals kind of match each other. So let's kind of see what we're talking about here. So we have this buy signal right before the dollar exploded from 1981 all the way up to like 1985. 4 years of the dollar going up. And then we got the sell signal right at the top. So we had broke the trend, sold right at the top. And then we came down here, and then we did like this bull kind of pattern. And we had like this first sell off, come back up, second sell off, come back up, round out, and then we go again. So now we have a buy now signal right here in the middle. And then we go into our run in the dollar. So this was around like 1995 to the year like 2002. So this was 7 years. This one was around like 4 years, 5 years. So things have kind of expanded in the sense of, and kind of like Bitcoin, when Bitcoin first came out, like in the late 2000s, like 2009, it exploded. And then as time goes on, you get less kind of returns, and things kind of drag out longer. So this is very fast. This is a little slower. And then this has been a little slower. So it makes sense. So 5 years, 7 years, called the bottom here, called the top here, called the bottom here, called the top here. This is a 3-month chart. So every candle consists of 3 months. This looks like a small time frame, but we're talking like 50 years. So we got our buy right here. Just like we got our buy right here back in 2009, we went down, up, down, just like down, up, down, and then we had a little kind of move up, and then we got our buy now, just like down, up, down, a little move up, we got our buy now. So like these patterns in the charts and the fractals, they repeat themselves so like crystal clear sometimes when you really just zoom out and see what's going on the higher time frames. So now where we're at right now is this phase. We're in the final phases. Like this is the .com. After the .com crash, then a huge rally happened in the stock market from like 2002 to 2007, 2008, right before the great financial crisis. And then same over here as well too. Like we had I think it was inflation around this time, and then the dollar sold off, and then we went into a great period of like stock prices rising like 1980s to like the early 90s. That's what happened. And then, so now where are we at right now, right? So we're on the 3 month, but remember how as time goes on, the moves get less impulsive. So now we have to go to a lower time frame to make up for that, right? So what we see here is, I'm going to go to the 3-week chart. Actually, no, I'll stay on the monthly because now we're going to turn on the sell warnings that are letting us know when it might be a great time to sell. So on the monthly right now, we're getting the sell warnings where we're at. And let me check the 2-month real quick. So yeah, on the monthly. So it makes sense that we're going to be topping soon because look at the past times where we had tops. So the 3-month chart said to sell right here, but the 1 month said to sell there as well too. And then the 3-month chart said to sell here too. And the 1 month chart said to sell here as well. So with the 1 month saying to sell here, or it's getting ready to tell us to sell now, but the 3-month didn't, it's still the 3-month said to sell here, so, and the 1 month. So it's likely that this is the top as well too. So even though it's not on the 3-month, but we know we got to keep in mind the difference in kind of lengths of times and everything like that. So let's go down here to the 3-week, and we can see that the 3-week had called the tops as well too. So right here, and then we can't get all that information back here, but this top back here, this top, and the more recent kind of tops in the past decade, where the 2017 top right here where cryptos went off, and then the 2015 top where cryptos bottomed. So like us having the 3-week sell warning, a monthly sell warning, a 1-week sell 2-week sell warning, and then all those huge time frames flashing the sell warning, it's leading me to believe that we are on the precipice of another huge fall in the dollar, and that will result in a huge rise of asset prices. And they were comparing this recent crash of crypto to the .com crash, and that was back during this like period of like 2000, 2001 of the dollar rising. And that's exactly what we had just had. So we got our crash, but what came after is a dollar tanked. The Amazons, the Facebooks, the Microsofts of the .com era ballooned during this time, and I believe we're on the precipice of that again, but with cryptocurrencies. So now I'll turn on this the drawings, and what I did was, since we're relating it to the .com crash, I took what happened after, which was the fall of the dollar, and I dragged it like this. And I didn't change it at all, but I took at where we are right now, where the sell warnings have just flashed. I grabbed it and I overlaid it right onto here like that. And I believe I stretched it out a little as well too, like this. And it perfectly lines up with kind of these trend lines coming down, because since 1986 we've been forming like a falling wedge where we've been just ping-ponging back and forth between here, and we broke above support, and then we had this ascending right here as support. So it lines up perfect, because when you break out at one of these, you tend to test as support, and then you sometimes can test lower, go down lower, and still test this as support. So as far as like this making sense as far as technical patterns, it does. And then when I take the fractal pattern that I overlaid from here to here, it makes sense too, because you get tied up. So the dollar should start falling as of now, but it won't break below here and really like cause like a shift to happen, to be evident, until like maybe like November, December of 2022. Starting January 2023, we will get this fall in the dollar that will then cause cryptos to explode all of 2023. Then in 2024, it is going to be unreal as far as price explosion, because the dollar is going to tank crazy. And then into 2025 as well too. I think we're going to have a 2-year massive bull run from well, it's going to start 2023, but it's going to be more of like reclaiming back to like all-time highs. And then 2024, 2025 are going to be huge explosive price movements. And keep in mind that cryptos now, the money is going to flow into the coins that are have utility in solving a real world problem. It's not going to be like the past run where like all these coins that don't do anything go up. It's the money's going to flow into the coins that the institutions are adopting. So by the end of this year, we should see the dollar really start to crater into 2023, into 2024, 2025, and then 2026 we'll have like a lull year. That will be like maybe the start of a pullback, and then starting 2027 we'll go back into one more rally into bull run into 2027 to 2029. And then the dollar will bottom, and that will be like a 40% drop in the dollar by that point. And keep in mind too, these line up with the timelines, because we said that 2025 is like mass adoption and 2030 is mass adoption. So 2025, it just makes sense that we'd have a huge run into there as far as crypto's going up, so the dollar's going down. So we have most of our drawdown around 2024 to 2026. So that lines up with the timeline. Then we have a period of like consolidation, and then from 2027 to 2029, then we have our full blown out like maturity phase of the crypto market. We have our last fall in the dollar. It contributes to another rise up, and then 2029, that's when the dollar bottoms. And remember what happened in 1919, the Spanish flu. What happened in 2019, COVID. What happened in 1929, the Great Depression. What do I think is going to happen in 2029, the Great Depression, number 2. So that's what I believe is going to play out. History is repeating itself. It's 100-year cycles, and the charts are lining up to absolutely show that same pattern. You can even see that if you see like what I've outlined here of the phases of the dollar, you can see that we have our sell-off phase to our accumulation phase right here to our phase that we rise right here. So we can see that if we compare every single time and break these up into its fractal pattern. So we got the red here. So red to yellow to green, red to yellow to green, just like that. So red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green. And now we're going to be going into our red right here to our then yellow to then our green. So red to yellow to green. So while everybody is plotting what's going to happen this year, next year, we're plotting out 10 years, guys. And we're going to be so ahead as far as this goes, because this all just makes sense too. Because if you look at the past videos I just did about central bank digital currencies, about world reserve currencies, BRICS, and Agartho, we talk about it, as well as in my next video for my newsletter. I'm going to be showing a lot of stuff, but they've been planning this for hundreds of years, trying to solve this problem with kind of not putting one country's currency at the center of the stage, and the dollar being the world's reserve currency. They said by 2030 they're going to be able to kind of do this transition, and just everything is lining up to show that as far as the charts. So that's what I'm seeing right here. You can even see the similar pattern as far as, we go down, we do like this. We have our trend line coming across, we break up, we go down, we do like this. We have our trend line, we go up, and then we come back down. We do our trend line, right? So that is exactly what's going to happen, and that's going to contribute to a massive crypto bull run, starting by the end of this year all the way until 2026, 2029 as well too. There's a brief pause in here, but by 2030 it will be mass adoption of crypto, and then something may happen in the world where it causes kind of a Great Depression moment with the dollar starting to rise again. Or who knows, maybe that won't be the case, but this is what I'm seeing. Let me know if you guys see anything else, and that's it for this video.